Stay with me as we expand our knowledge with videos from all over the internet that's going to make you question reality. Let's just that.
When you stay in fight or flight too long, you move into dorsal vagal, which is when a lot of animals would play dead. When the threat is too big, we play dead. And that for me is burnout. That is apathy, disconnection, dissociation. We are disengaged. We are literally like the walking dead. If you tell me some good news, I can't feel it. If you tell me bad news, I cannot feel it, because the body has gone into a very protective state, because it was in that chronic fight or flight for too long, and it said, shut it down. This girl's going to lose something if we don't shut it down. So it shuts off the nervous system at that point, which is our ability to feel and connect with things. You can bring that back down into a sense of safety by what you create around you. It's really about
The more you do for other people, the more they're going to think that they're amazing, not you. I'm a neurodivergent who uses the 48 laws of power to get the treatment I want. And today we're talking about law number 8, make people come to you. A lot of neurodivergents are huge people pleasers and are used to overcompensating and oversharing to make other people like them. They do a lot of things for people in the hopes that when they do these things, people are going to see that, oh, well, she's such an amazing person for doing this for me. But reality is, the more you do for people, the more people are going to think that they're amazing because someone is doing something for them. And that's why it is essential that you stop chasing people, doing things for people, and start doing more things for yourself. Focus on yourself. People can see that you put that energy into you, make yourself hotter and all. Then people are going to come to you.
Why is it that nobody wants to say the quiet part out loud about marriage? And that's that marriage is a business contract. It's about wealth. It's about financial partnership. For women especially, it's about security. When we say that out loud, you call women gold diggers and say that they should be marrying for love, or that a marriage should be based on love first. However, as soon as you see long-term relationships, couples that have been together for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the conversation is immediately what's going to happen when you guys pass away, or who gets to keep what in case of you guys splitting up, or Social Security, or retirement, or who gets to keep the property. Where's the equity in that house going? I just find it real funny that we just don't label it what it is up front, and then maybe we wouldn't have a lot of these issues, and women would choose a lot better when it comes to choosing a husband.
One of the most dangerous manipulation tactics is when someone wrongs you, then acts like nothing happened. They'll smile, chat, and behave as if they didn't betray the hell out of you without ever offering an apology or taking accountability. It seems like they just want you to move on, but it's more sinister than this. This is manipulation. A calculated mix of gaslighting, triggering, and confusion, to be exact. They want you at war with yourself, so you're too distracted to hold them accountable. And if you do snap, they get to play the victim, so bonus. The key is not to gloss over it or blow up and confront it. As soon as someone like this attempts something like that, as calmly as you can, try this. No hard feelings, but I'm not interested in engaging like this with you given the history of what was done. Then leave it at that and go your own way. It's not rude to protect your peace by refusing to participate in chaos. Boundary
helps.
I hope this helps.
Boundary up.
Have you ever noticed that they like to spend way too much time in the bathroom? And at first I thought that this was just a quirky habit, and maybe he had stomach problems or he had a tiny little baby bladder. But pretty quickly I realized that my ex was using these bathroom breaks as a way to sneak around. He was talking to women behind my back, using apps that nobody in a committed relationship should be using, and also participating in
Like what?
illegal activities in there and hiding it from me. And the worst part was that he would accuse me afterwards of being nosy, of not trusting him. And God, this cycle of manipulation is so exhausting with narcissists, especially physically abusive ones like him. And I'm just glad I got out of there alive. So moral of the story here, at least for me, is that your gut will tell you pretty early on what your mind or your heart isn't yet ready to believe. So if you find yourself still making excuses for behaviors that are objectively off or weird, put your best friend in that position. Say, hey, if my best friend told me that this is what was happening with her significant other, what would I tell her to do? And then take that advice.
Am I tripping, or did everything suddenly start getting centered around men? Or has it?
You're not tripping, and it's because we're about to go to war soon. That's it. If you live in America and you have half of a brain cell, all you have to do is look outside, look at the news, watch the news, just look at the atmosphere. We're about to go to war. And historically, go look through history. Historically, in a time like this, all women start to default to their natural setting. They start to become very male-centered, because when the shit pops off, when that first bullet goes off, most women who encounter men want to be remembered for favorably. They want to be remembered in a positive way, because during war, a lot of you have no idea what wartime feels like, and I hope you don't get to see it. I hope you don't get to live to witness it. But during wartime, the worst versions of ourselves come out, and it's actually encouraged, because that's the way you survive. It's encouraged for you to go be the worst version of yourself. And so I need you to imagine someone who's the worst version of himself, who at that moment thinks of himself as a god who decides if you live or die. And then he lives in a world where he hates women, and then he runs into you. Do you want to imagine what that experience is going to be like? So yes, everything is becoming male-centered is because we are going to war, and everyone has gotten the memo except one group. I'll let you guess who that group is. Because look at Arab women. Go online right now and see how much Arab women are defending Arab men. Asian women historically are known for the race that date out the most. Right now, go on this app, go on Instagram, anywhere, go find post interracial dating with Asian men and see what Asian women are doing. Go to posts that are talking shit about Asian men from 5 years ago, and then look for one from this year and see how Asian women are reacting in the comments. Even Asian women have decided, fuck these white men. They're defaulting to Asian men. It's everybody sees it.
Black
Only
woman,
one
right?
group does not see it. One group.
If you're a nice guy, these are the 4 things you need to look out for. Now, I'm telling you from experience, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. I was the nice guy for 15 years, and I'll tell you what, it cost me an engagement, and it cost me a lot of money. And so, this may not apply to everybody, but if you see that you're doing a couple of these things, I just want you to have an individual checkpoint with yourself and say, hey, maybe I do need to change this. Because you'll have a girl that's interested in you or respects you, and you'll drop that to -10. So, first thing to be on the lookout for, you're overly available. You're always around. How is she going to respect you if all you do is sit around, wait all day for her text message so you can double text her, love her message, blow kiss emoji at her all day? She's not going to respect you as much. And she can argue. I'm sure I'm going to get a blast off in the comments. I don't really care. Guys, I'm talking to you directly. Scarcity creates desire. That's psychology. I didn't write it. I didn't make it up. That's the way it is. So when you give that time apart, a woman is feeling oriented. So she's going to feel it, and it might hurt a little bit. But when she finally gets to see you, she is thrilled. She feels so elated. It's an amazing feeling for her. So check on that. Number 2, you're afraid to put her in her place. Now, I'm not telling you need to be a dick about it. You don't need to be an asshole. But if you allow somebody to disrespect you or do something that you're not okay with, let them do it. It's a domino effect. It doesn't just happen with that one item. It starts bleeding into everything, right? And then pretty soon you're getting stomped on. You don't know why. And that's not just a woman thing. That's a human thing. Your best friend does something to disrespect you, You don't say, hey, I'm not
Yeah,
cool with
right.
that.
True.
Watch him do it again. I guarantee.
Like that.
And that leads me to step 3. If you find that you're trying to solve all her problems all the time, and every time she feels something, you're running there to try to save her from it, come on, man. Everybody's got to feel. On life's terms, it's about adulthood, right? Let her have her space. Let her have her time to work through her shit. And when she's in a better place about it, you guys can sit down, you guys can talk about it. Last one, and this is the one I jacked up immensely, and this was the biggest sucker of time and money, right? When things aren't right, you gotta let her go.
Yeah, right.
You just gotta let her go. It sucks, it hurts. You might be thinking you might not find anybody as good as her. But if you got that gnawing thought in the back of your head, oh, there's something off. It's hitting on my non-negotiables. You got to be able to throw the deuces. And you can do it in a nice way, too. It doesn't have to be bad. Right? Guys, if any of these 4 items stuck out to you and you just had an eye-opening moment and a little light bulb went off, I know what it's like to be a guy. I know that I'm stubborn. I know that I don't like anyone telling me what to do or how to be. But I want to help you. So in the comments down below.
David Rockefeller, he loved being behind the scenes creating this elite sex slave who was going to make him millions. David Rockefeller was a pedophile. I can tell you that the place where I was taken in Germany, in Heidelberg, the doctor that was in charge there, Hans Harmsen, he was in charge of the special project of David Rockefeller for the mind control training. It's based on torture. I was forced to watch certain things to learn about men's behavior, whether it was their weakness or their sexual perversions, to recognize those. First, I would see the man, just his face, and then seeing it in the behavior, different things. And then I would need to guess based on a face what this person would do. And if I got it wrong, he would just strangle me until I fainted. I realized after a while that in these near-death experiences that my intuition was sharpening. And so it was punishment for not giving the right answer, but it was also part of the training to be able to get more intuitive and sense things without having to use your reason.
Sometimes what happens is when we have a wound with masculine energy, let's say that you have a dad who he abandoned you, and so that taught you, I'm not worthy of receiving love. I'm not worthy of healthy masculine energy. What happens is when money comes to you, because your own internal masculine energy feels unworthy, you will give it away. Or you will spend it, you will do something. This actually happened to me when I first started making a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars in my business every month. What I started doing is I would give money to family members, like I'm talking about extreme amounts. Let's say one time my brother did a simple favor for me and I gave him $100. That to me, of course he's like, no, Alexis, you don't need to do this. But I'm like, no, please just take it. It's because so much money was coming in that I thought, I'm not worthy of this. My masculine energy was in shock that I was just trying to give it away. Then I had to do some inner work, which is how I even learned men and money are connected. And so I would ask, how is your relationship with masculine energy and how can you strengthen it?
And then I found out my best friend made a voodoo doll of me, and I ended up...
So this happens way more than people think. People that are close to you are gonna like do things that you could never imagine. If you follow me, you already see like all the submission stories of real people that found out like people close to them was doing magic on them. Black magic at that. And I understand that a lot of you guys out there don't really know how to protect yourself from that or like how to fight back or whatever, right? So I'm about to give you guys some tips on things that you can do to protect yourself from black magic. Damn it, my fat ass was eating a pate. Anyways, did you know that teas, like the tea that you drink every day, can actually help you fight off like things like that? But before I even tell you some of the teas, there's some signs and symptoms that may tell you that maybe somebody's doing something on you, or maybe there's some lingering bad energy that was left around you. Number one, if you're randomly waking up at 3 a.m. every freaking night, even if it's not every night, but you're like randomly waking up at 3 a.m. Yep. Number two, if after a full night of sleep, you still feel tired when you wake up. Number three, if you seem to be having really bad luck, like everything around you is going wrong, that's one of the biggest signs. So a lot of people don't know that when people come to your house, like your home, they bring in bad energy and negative energy. They may not mean to, but it happens. Sometimes that energy can stay around your home and it lingers around you. One of the things that you can do is mop your floors with sea salt. That's gonna help cleanse all the negative mumbo jumbo. Now for the tea. If your spirit has been feeling off lately, you know exactly what I mean. You'll know what I mean. You know, the tea that you can make and drink that will help you with that is lemongrass tea. You can find it on Amazon. Lemongrass herb has been used for centuries to clean, bad energy. So you're gonna make the leaf. You're gonna get the leaf and you're gonna make it as tea as you usually would. You're gonna drink this every morning. This is the first thing that you're gonna drink. No water, no nothing. You're gonna drink this every morning for 7 days. I guarantee you'll feel a lot better after. If you're interested in things like this and you want more knowledge on how to protect yourself, I did just drop an ebook that has way more stuff than those 2 tips that I gave you. I dropped it, so right now it's only $25. I made that specially for my followers so they can get a chance to get it, but after that it's gonna go up to $40. It's a 40-page ebook and it helps. It has cleansing baths, some teas that you can use, some everyday stuff that you can use to protect yourself. It even has powerful prayers, because y'all know I'm Christian first, Haitian second. I even put on a fasting thing in there to help you fast if it happens to be like that bad. So if you want to know more, the link is in my bio. Not one of those, regular ebooks. It actually has real life stuff in there, remedies passed down from my Haitian grandmother on how to help protect yourself and cleanse your spirit and your home. If you feel like someone's doing something on you or your spirit just feels off, go click that link in my bio.
Today we're looking at high IQ manipulation tactics that girls use against guys. You'll only be aware of these tactics when you guys break up or when it's too late. Coming in first, irreversible outcomes. She'll say, babe, let's send each other our login details. When it's over, she doesn't want to give back your account. Then she'll say, let's get matching tattoos together. Or she'll say, that hoodie looks cute. Can I please take it, babe? Then when you want it back, she'll say to you, you ain't taking nothing out of my house. Coming in second is critical information. So in the beginning, she'll tell you, I've only been with one guy. I'm one and done, baby. Then when the relationship happens for a long time, you end up realizing that there was actually quite a few guys there. So they withhold this information because they understand that you won't take them seriously. Coming in third is planting evidence. Exclamation. Actually, I don't know what this is called. These weird lines marking territory. So she'll agree to pull up to wherever you are. And then once she comes there, she starts leaving things all over the place. She'll start leaving things on you. She'll also soft launch you on TikTok so that she can eliminate the actual woman you want to marry. Your number one. We call this image fixing. Number 4 is trapping. So trapping happens when she finds out, okay, this man has some money on him. He is literally my best option. Or if she's tired of being in this situation and she wants this. So she'll end up gifting you a little McNugget. It's Burger King. Coming in at number 5 is the fake reassurance. This happens when she's about to go play an away game with another player and she starts blowing up your phone, sending you messages. Oh my God.
Guys, you cannot build a relationship with a woman who is emotionally immature. Now, she might be really attractive, really sexy. Maybe you had a great couple of first dates, but when you notice that things get real and she lacks emotional regulation, or she avoids accountability, or she has real limited empathy and understanding, or she's totally afraid of vulnerability, this demonstrates that she's emotionally immature. And that means she's not going to be right for you. Because instead of enjoying the relationship, being with her in the relationship, building something together, you're going to spend your time constantly trying to be the bigger person, constantly trying to fix her, smooth things over, and repair a relationship that probably wasn't the right one to begin with.
Oh Lord, I'm sick. I sound like a smoking cigarette. But a hoe's final form is overly religious. Let's talk about this. That's literally the whole point. We want anybody that abuses their body, any drug addict, any alcoholic, sex addict, to find Jesus. In fact, a lot of people that have very promiscuous lives had some type of trauma happen to them when they were younger, some type of sexual trauma, molestation. So what happens is, as a trauma response, is they go out living very promiscuous lives. Now what happens is when somebody like that finds Jesus, they find that going out and continuously abusing their body like their abuser did to them is not going to heal them. So what happens is they find Jesus, and Jesus heals them and renews them and tells them who their identity is and what Jesus views them as. And it's a beautiful, wonderful process. So I don't like comments like this, I don't like posts like this. If you look at someone who is abusing their body sexually, it's almost like an act of just spiritual suicide. Same with alcohol, same with drugs. You're opening yourself up for other things to possess you. It's literally an act of spiritual suicide. Your spirit is literally dying. So when someone like that is able to come to Jesus, and then from living a life of promiscuity, learn a life of self-control and self-discipline, from being able to go and sleep with all these different type of men to sleeping with nobody and waiting until marriage and having that type of self-control, that's a huge switch. And don't forget, ladies, anyone that had a past who was promiscuous, just remember that Mary Magdalene was accused of being a promiscuous woman herself and being a prostitute. But she literally was a disciple, one of Jesus's most loyal disciples, was there at the cross and was there when he rose from the dead. One of the most important figures, and she had a past. So don't let any post like that or any comment like that take away your importance to Jesus.
5 unexpected signs you're stepping into your most authentic self. Number 1, you stop seeing the good in everyone. You are now seeing people for exactly who they are, not just their potential. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you make empowered decisions from this lens of whether you want them in your life or not. Sign number 2, you're no longer toxically empathic. Extreme forms of empathy can actually be a sign that we're in a trauma response. And when we break free from these survival patterns, we enter into a healthy, balanced state of empathy. You can hold space for others' problems, but you're not taking them on as your own. Sign number 3, you're not nice anymore. You have upgraded into being loving. Loving people hold others accountable for their shitty, toxic behavior. You are no longer enabling people or seeing them as powerless victims. You're seeing others from a higher lens and therefore holding them to a higher standard. Number 4, you have less friends because you're no longer trying to be liked by everyone or be surrounded by a lot of people to feel like you're cool or worthy. You now prioritize quality over quantity. Number 5, last but not least, you feel more anger. Our tolerance for BS goes out the window. The things that we put up with when we were in survival, we no longer are a match for. During this time, people often can feel disgusted for what they put up with or often feel rage for what they tolerated. This is actually a good thing. Fear and anxiety are no longer running the show. Your power is. The more signs you're experiencing, the more authentic you're becoming.
That so much. Interesting video and insightful. So we've come to the end. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. Adios amigos, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.